registered nurse, and today I decided it's been a hot minute since I've made a video, and I decided, I was like, you know what, I should give an update. So that's what this video is going to be about. I'm going to be giving you guys an update on my orientation and my new grad residency, or my nurse residency program, and what it's been like for me as a new grad. So for those of you who may or may not know, for me, I work in a stroke IMU. So I work on an intermediate care unit. I think in other places, I think they're called like progressive care units, or ICU step down. That's basically where I'm at. I'm on a stroke unit that, it's a unit that specializes in stroke, and we're basically like a step down from the neuro ICU as well. So, but yeah, I work in critical care, which is what I've always wanted. Excuse me. So yeah, I work in critical care, which is what I've always wanted, my experience so far, I feel like I've lost my track of time since I've started. I'm on day shift right now, and so far it's been pretty good. I mean, it's, of course, like, starting off, I will say that, being a new nurse, being a new grad, it's a little nerve-wracking, which is normal, and that's expected. But for me, I will say that I feel very supported. In my hospital system where I'm at, we're in a nurse residency program. So, when I first started, we were taking lots of classes and seminars and things like that. And then when we got on our floor, we had shadow shifts, which were basically, it was kind of like clinicals in nursing school. You literally just shadow a nurse, and you do stuff or whatever. And so we had shadow shifts, and then we were paired with a preceptor, and then we started our phase 1. So in our hospital system, we have phase 1, 2, 3, and 4. So phase 1 is basically you're with your preceptor, and you take care of one patient. So you're in charge of one patient. You take care of one patient with your preceptor, of course. You're not totally by yourself, but you're taking care of one patient, and you do that for 9 shifts. So for 9 shifts, you take care of one patient, and then you move on to phase 2. So phase 2 is, I'm going to be taking care of 2 patients. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So this coming week, I move into phase 2, which I can't believe, it's gone by so fast already. I'm going to be moving into phase 2. I'm going to be taking care of 2 patients. And yeah, I mean, I feel pretty good. I mean, I do feel a little nervous, but I mean, when I was doing my shadow shifts, I was helping my nurse take care of all 3 patients that he had. So on our floor, the most patients that we can have is 3. So it's I've already been exposed to taking care of 3 patients in a way, but now this coming phase of my orientation, I'm going to be taking care of 2 patients, which is a big step up, So how it's been for me, I will say, being a nurse, being a new nurse, it's I will say this, it doesn't matter, and this is something that I've learned, is that it doesn't matter, what nursing school you went to. It doesn't matter what previous experience you have. Like, being a new nurse, like, it is new for everyone. And I know because I've met lots of different people from my cohort in my, residency program. And all of these different people, they went to all of these different nursing schools. Some of them went to my school, which is cool. And it's all the same. Like, we all feel the same way. We all have the same feelings. We all have the same experiences. And, being a new nurse, it's like nursing school. I want to say nursing school prepares you a lot for the NCLEX. And then it's like everything else, you kind of learn on the job. And that's kind of what it's been like for me. It's like, being a new nurse is like, I'm like, wow, this is not like anything I've ever done. I mean, in a way, I felt pretty comfortable because of my experience as a tech. So it's like I already knew how to do certain things, and I was pretty confident with certain skills that, I've done before in clinicals as a nursing student or as a tech. But then everything else is like pretty new. And the thing that I have had to learn is that that's okay. Like, even my preceptor, my preceptor told me, he was like, look, I don't expect you to know everything. Like, of course you're not going to know everything. And that's okay, being a new nurse, like, you're in a position where you're finally able to learn and do things every single day, and so for me, like, going into being a new nurse and new grad, something that I have really done is try to make sure that I am, like, teachable, and that I take initiative in whatever I can, and that I am like a sponge. Like, I just absorb all the knowledge and absorb all of the skills and everything as much as I can. And that's what I've been doing. So, and I've been progressing very, very well. Like, my preceptor is very pleased with my progress. Like, my preceptor feels very comfortable with me because at this point, like, I pretty much got it under the groove. Like, I'm in the groove of things. Now I'm just in the process of moving up in my orientation and taking on 2 patients. So yeah. So I'm excited. I'm a little nervous, of course. Like, that's totally normal. I will say in general, like, being a new nurse, it can cause you to have some anxiety, and and I will say that that's totally okay. Thankfully for me, like, my anxiety hasn't been too bad, like, my anxiety has been okay. It's not like it's not like I have, like, debilitating anxiety, like, thank goodness, because I know that does happen to some people when they're new, and it's totally understandable. For me, like, I kind of have a little bit of pre-shift anxiety. Like, I usually have kind of like pre-shift anxiety, kind of like the day before I have to go to work. Like, it kind of starts to set in a little bit, and I try to relax, but then it's kind of hard to relax because I'm a little anxious, because I'm like, man, I have to go to work tomorrow and all that. Sometimes I get really anxious, like, on my way to work, which is also normal. Like, that's totally normal. But then the kicker is like, I'll have anxiety. I'll have a little bit of anxiety, like mild anxiety. But then it's like, I'll end up having a really good day anyways. So I'm like, okay, so I was anxious for nothing. Like, I was anxious for no reason, So yeah, like, that's been my experience. You know, sometimes I have a little bit of anxiety, but it's not too bad. And I know, like, from what I've heard from people is, you know, your anxiety really starts to set in once you're off orientation and you're on your own completely. And so I'm like, okay, like, I'm anticipating that. You know, obviously for me, you know, I have like several months left until I'm, you know, completely off of orientation. So for me, I will tell you guys, my orientation is 6 months because I'm in IMU. So being in IMU, like the whole orientation process, it's like 6 months. There's 4 phases. So phase 1, 2, and 3, those are like the amount of patients you'll have. So phase 1 is 1 patient, phase 2, 2 patients, phase 3, 3 patients. And then phase 4 is we get to go to the ICU, so the neuro ICU, and we get to have, you know, our cross training into the ICU. So that's what we'll get to do, you know. So yeah, so I'm going to be doing that, and I'm really excited because I'll get to have that ICU training and experience. And with that, being in the stroke IMU, sometimes they may float us to the neuro ICU to take care of a patient, you know, a patient that's stable, you know. So that's something that can happen for us and that we can do. So yeah, so I'm excited for that. I'm ready, and I'm just, you know, going along in my orientation. So I will tell you guys in general, like, I work, my schedule is basically going off of my preceptor schedule. So whatever days he's working, those are days that I'm working, you know. And so, like, kind of like a typical schedule for me, what it's been like for a little while is, like, I'll work maybe 2 shifts in a row, and then I'll have 1 day dedicated to, like, modules that we have to do. So as part of my residency program and orientation, we have to do a bunch of modules for critical care, basically. And so my schedule will be like, I'll work maybe 2 days, and then I'll have a day set to do, you know, modules, and I'll do that. And then I get paid to do modules, which is great. And so, like I said, the modules that we do, they're basically critical care modules. Sometimes we'll have time set off, like I'll work 2 days a week, and then I might have like a class to go to or a seminar that's part of my residency program that I have to go to. I think like last week, for example, we had like, or not last week, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, we had like 2 skills days. So for us, like, we had a day where we went and they helped us with a bunch of skills, like IVs and Foleys and restraints. You know, they taught us about wounds and a bunch of stuff. And so we got to be hands-on and we got to learn all these different things. So stuff like that. And so the thing is like, we're only allowed to work or to be paid for like 36 hours of work. So that's kind of how the schedule works when you're on orientation, at least for my hospital system. I don't know about other hospitals, but so like for me, I might work 2 days and then I'll have a day set off to do modules or like some kind of class or something. So but that's pretty much like the typical thing that we do. But like this week, like tomorrow, I start one of like 3 shifts. So I'm going to be working 3 days. I mean, I would be lying if I said I was looking forward to it, because I'm not looking forward to it. I have one day, my last day of phase 1 is tomorrow, and then I start phase 2, and like yeah, I mean, like, I'm excited. It's just, like, I don't want to go to work. Like, I just don't want to go to work. But it's fine. It's whatever. It's cool. I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it. It's going to be fine. I'm going to be making my money. So, that's that, It is what it is, like I always say. Like I was saying earlier, like, I have a little bit of anxiety, but it's not too bad. But yeah, so yeah, like this week I'm actually working 3 days, and I think it's the first time that I'm working 3 days, like 3 days in a row. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to be doing. And I don't know what else to talk about. Oh, and I will say, like, in general, being a new nurse, like, this has been my experience. Like, for me, I will say, like, being a new nurse is hard. It's difficult. It's challenging, because, like, you're constantly learning, and part of that learning process, at least in my experience, has been like, it's difficult sometimes because, you're learning and you don't know everything, and there's a lot that you don't know, and there's a lot that you do know, because you actually do know things. Like, that's something that I've been surprised, or not really surprised, but I've just been really happy about, is like, for me, when I go to work, like, I feel like I'm connecting the dots with the things that I learned in school and the things that I do at work. So that's been really, really great. But, of course, like, part of the learning process, and, it's, being a new nurse is very humbling. Like, you will be humbled all the time, or, maybe not all the time, but, it happens. Like, I will say, for me, the way I feel is, like, my progress as a new nurse, it's kind of like, it's like an up and down kind of thing. Some days are better than others. Some days I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. Some days I feel like I don't know what's going on. And then there are other days where I feel really good and I feel great and I'm doing it. So I just want to let you guys know that, that is totally normal. Like, it's totally normal for you to feel that up and down. Like, you're going to have really good days, and then you're going to have really bad days. Like, I've had a shift a while back where I felt really bad about myself. And the thing is that the reality is, like, you're doing okay. You're doing good. You're learning. And part of that learning process is, like, you have to give yourself grace, and not be so hard on yourself. And that is something that I've been learning to do. Like, me, the type of person I am, I'm a perfectionist. And the thing about me is, like, if I am not perfect at something, then in my mind, I tell myself, oh, I'm not good at it. Like, and it's just like, that's not always fair. I'm not being fair to myself, because it's like, I'm learning and I'm new, and it's okay. Like, you don't have to be perfect at everything, So yeah, sometimes, like, when I have bad days, or when I think I have bad days, it's really just because, like, I'm being hard on myself. And as a new nurse, like, you can be hard on yourself, but you have to have balance. Like, you really have to remind yourself, like, okay, you are learning, like, you are okay. You're not going to know everything. You know, of course, like when you're a new nurse, like you need to ask questions, like ask questions even if you think it's dumb. And you know, if you don't remember how to do something, even if you've already done it before, that's okay. Like ask, you know, and then just move along, you know. But yeah, like sometimes, like I said, sometimes it's hard, but it's hard because I'm hard on myself. But then it's like when I ask my preceptor's like, no, you're doing really good. Like, you're doing really, really good. Like, you know, you got it, you know. My preceptor, he was, you know, early on in my orientation, he was like, I think you're ready to take on 2 patients. And I was like, no. I was like, I don't want to do that. Like, I was like, I don't want to do that right now. Like, I still need my 1 patient, you know. I need to have my 1 patient right now and just get used to it, and then I'll move on to 2. But yeah, but you know, I will say this overall, like in general, everybody's different, and this is something that they told us in our new grad residency. Like, people will progress differently. So you might have some people that are progressing really well and really smoothly. You know, you might have some people that are requesting, you know, extensions for their, you know, for their residency, for their phases and orientation and stuff like that. And that's totally okay. So, you know, for you guys watching this, you know, as you guys are becoming new nurses, I just want you guys to know that and to remember that, like, we're all different. And some people are progressing through their orientation much quicker, some not as quick, you know, not as fast as other people, and that's totally fine. That is totally okay. We're all different, and at the end of the day, we're all going to be at the same place, and, you know, we're all going to make it to, you know, where we're supposed to be. So yeah, I don't know what else to say, but that's been my experience so far. Like, you know, me, like, I look forward to, you know, really having it down, like, you know, being more independent. I feel like this past, like, phase, I've been, like, kind of slowly becoming more and more independent. I mean, of course, I still have my preceptor, and, you know, I still have my preceptor, you know, who's helping me and guiding me. And, you know, of course, I have lots of questions all the time because there's a lot. Like, there's a lot to being a nurse. You know, there's just a lot of things you have to know. And it's not necessarily things that you have to know from a nursing standpoint, but it's just like how things work in a hospital. Like, you know, who to call for something. Like, if I need something for my patients, like, I have to call people, I have to put it in order and call people and confirm and make sure it gets here. It's just like all these little things that, like, you have to know and you got to do to take care of your patients. And it's just like, I'm learning that every single day. And I'm still learning that, you know, but it's getting better and better. So yeah, so I mean, like, I look forward to the time where I am feeling more comfortable. I mean, it's gonna take a while, I think, for me to feel comfortable or to start feeling comfortable. But I mean, that's just being a new nurse. Like, that's the reality of it, you know. It might feel uncomfortable for a while, but you know, being a nurse, like, you're gonna learn something new every single day. And, you know, every shift that I've worked, I've learned, like, I'm learning so much, you know. So yeah, so that's my experience so far. I don't know what else to say, but you know, I just wanted to give you guys an update and talk to you guys about you know, my experience and what it's been like, and yeah, so I don't know what else to say. So I think I'm just gonna end it here. Thank you guys so much for watching and for following me. Thank you guys so much for all of your comments and questions and stuff. I mean, I will say this, I would love to make like a blog or like a vlog of me going to work, but I just don't think I can do that. But maybe in another video I can like share what a typical day is like for me. I might do that. I mean, I can't take you guys to work with me because I feel like I would get in trouble if I did that. So I don't want to risk it, but but yeah, I might do that in the future. I might make a video where you know, I kind of share like what a typical day is like and the kind of things that I do in a typical day working on my unit. So I might do that. Any other like video requests, let me know. I'm thinking maybe it would be really cool to do like a video where you guys ask me your questions and I can answer your questions. So yeah, leave your questions in the comments and maybe I'll do a video doing that. So, but other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for coming back. And I will see you guys next time.